So in this lesson I'm going to teach you how to make hot milk eggless vanilla cake. Okay, so this is a butter cake and the eggless version, and where we are going to boil the milk and then the butter together, and that is what we are going to use. We are not going to do the creaming method in this particular recipe, and this technique gives you a really fluffy butter cake, and that's really yummy as well. Okay, so I have the ingredients here, which is the milk and butter, and then there is all purpose flour, salt, baking soda, and then baking powder as well, and then I have sugar, the curd, and the vanilla extract. Okay, so I'm going to get a bowl and then sieve in the dry ingredients. I'm just going to add the flour, salt, baking soda, and then the baking powder. I'm just going to sift this and then set it aside, and then I'm going to get the induction stove and I'm going to have the saucepan. Into the saucepan I'm just going to add the milk, and then add the butter. I'm just going to let the milk boil and the butter melt and get incorporated with the milk. I'm just going to let the milk boil around on the edges. I'm just going to wait until then. So it's now beginning to boil, right? So it's now boiling, and that is all we want. So I'm just going to remove this and then set it aside. And I'm just getting the KitchenAid in. Into the KitchenAid we'll have the sugar go in the bowl. This can be the bowl of your hand beater as well, and then there is some curd going in. And then the vanilla, and I'm going to beat this until the curd together with the vanilla and the sugar gets incorporated fully, and that is going to take about a minute on medium high speed. So it's a pretty simple recipe. We just need the milk and the butter mixture hot. Now we just need to alternate between the dry and wet. Wet here is the butter, right? So again it's just the alternating. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fold them in by alternating it first, and then finally I'm just going to put it on the KitchenAid just once to have them all combined properly. If you're using a hand beater, then you could do this with the hand to start with, and once you have both of them incorporated well, then use your hand beater to just go on and then have them combined well at the end. Okay, so flour, one part has gone in, and then I'm just going to mix. So once you see no traces of the flour, then you can add half of the butter and milk. So I'm just going to give it a mix and pour it. So it's mixed up well, and then second part of the flour, I'm just going to retain one part, and that will be the last one. So we're doing that because we don't want lumps of the flour catching up in the batter. So you can see it's pretty smooth and no lumps, and into this goes the final and the last milk and butter mixture. Okay. Smooth and runny to this final flour, all of it. Okay, so it's a smooth batter. It looks good all by itself now, but I'm just going to run the beater once to just make sure everything is combined nicely. So scraping down, I'm getting the KitchenAid and running it like say for a few seconds until I have a smooth batter. So it looks good now. I'm just going to remove the bowl from the KitchenAid and show the texture, how it is looking. You also have a 6-inch pan ready here, lined with a butter paper and then buttered and floored on top of it, and then also there is the extra height of the butter paper. So the batter looks like this. It's super smooth and then it is also flowy. Okay, then I'm just going to get the prepared pan and then just transfer the batter into the prepared pan. So once the batter is all added, just level up. Make sure the batter is all leveled, and then though it's a flowy batter, it's good to just tap it once or twice. So you need to be preheating your oven to 180 degree Celsius, and this will get baked for about 30 to 40 minutes, and you still have to wait for the top to turn golden brown. Even if not, just wait until the top is not wobbly. If you're going to take it out of the oven and then kind of see the top is kind of wobbly, you know that the inside is still in a molten state, which is the batter still in the liquid state. So put it back and then keep taking it out every 5 minutes once, and then have your toothpick that could be pricked in only when you know the top is not wobbly. Because when you take it out of the oven, see after 30 minutes, and then if you're just going to shake it up and then see if the top is wobbly, you don't even put the toothpick inside. Now put it back in and then take it out like every 5 minutes once, and then when you know the top is not wobbly at all, that is when you put the toothpick in. And when you take it out, if you still see there is wet batter sticking to the tip of the skewer, then again it will go back 5 minutes and then get back. And when you know the toothpick is coming out clean, and that is when you know your cake is done. It could be anywhere between 35 to 45 minutes at 180 degree Celsius. So I will put this into the oven and then get back to show you once the cake has been baked. So now we have the eggless hot milk vanilla cake come out of the oven. You can see the top is like beautiful golden brown, and then I'm just going to check for the doneness and then show. And you can see the toothpick is come out clean. A little bit of dry crumb sticking to the toothpick is quite fine, but wet batter into the toothpick is that the cake is not done yet, which should have been the putting the cake back into the oven. So now we know the toothpick coming out clean, and so the cake is baked well. And now with your introductory lessons, you know how you need to store your cakes out of the oven 15 minutes on the wire rack, and while the cake is still warm, it needs to be cling wrapped in 2 layers without any gap between the cake and the cling wrap, and then it needs to go into the freezer until we need it to layer the cakes. Now I'll just get back into the other lesson where we are going to use the sponge.